everything we know about Disney's Strange New World. Strange World. I keep doing it. Well, fine. We'll leave it in. From June. I am Mecca, and who are you? Why are you here?
I'm Rob off camera.
So, this movie is set to lose a whopping almost 150 million, according to Deadline, according to Variety. It was like over 100 million. Here might be part of why. Now, I was looking for, is the Mary Sue calling us istophobes? No, apparently they haven't touched this since June. This is one of those movies that nobody knows what the crappity crap it is. Nobody knows anything about it. And the only thing I've heard is, it's woke and it's got a this and a this. And it's a diversity checkbox. It's one of these diversity checkboxes of get woke, go broke. And, that could be part of it, but I can tell you exactly why this movie failed, because we tried to watch some of this. Now, do we want to go into the Variety, any of these Variety articles?
We're kind of painting a timeline here, so let's go right here.
Well, this is the most recent one.
That's the most recent one. I read this on my stream yesterday.
It's going to lose 147, so almost 150 million.
Now, all these articles have something in common. They're all trying to lay the blame on the pandemic or Bob Chapek or the recession.
Now, here's the problem with this movie. It's a dumb, bad, crappy, generic BS garbage movie.
And I had read actually I think it was in this article, that it received a B- cinema score.
Oh, it's worse than that. It's very boring. It's so generic. It starts off, okay, we're going to take you through the movie from what we saw. We watched about 24 minutes of it, and we're like, yeah, we know where this is going. We're going to turn this crap off. Opening scene has this old flashbacky cartoon animation, not CGI, to set up the father-son issues with these two characters that you see on screen. Now, clearly this is later after he finds him. See, that was what was so predictable. The dad's this great explorer, like the grandfather, basically. Mm-hmm. What's his name?
His name's Jaeger Clay.
Jägermeister.
Jägermeister. Might as well be.
He is this, because it's going to get confusing for these characters. So Jägermeister is this old expedition-y guy. He's
this big adventurer, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like a Sir Edmund Hillary or something.
Yeah, so they're going up the side of this mountain, and we don't know where the crap they are. We're still not sure if this is like another planet. Is this actually Mount Everest or something? The dad wants to go off and explore. The son finds some little plant that's like going to be a crystal to save the planet. Because it's one of these save the environment, save the planet movies. But the dad and the kid have this strained relationship then, because the kid's not good enough, the son rather, and we're like, so there's going to be something where he's got to come back and make up with his dad with his own family now. Mm-hmm. With the Jägermeister dad.
I'm going to use a phrase that I really don't like using. It does a very poor job at world building, in that you don't know where this planet is. You don't know if it's Earth. As you said, you don't know what it is. You don't know the context of anything. You don't know how these people relate to anything.
Because they all look human.
They all look human. They all look human
for no reason.
For no apparent reason. If they all had, let's just say, blue skin.
Yeah.
This is another planet. This is maybe a micro universe or something. They have spaceships, but
they can't fly over a mountain.
They can't fly over a mountain. They have hover cars, but they all run on they
all run on
but they farm. They
like
use
plants and crap.
Yeah, it's a very I tried to look for a term for this. The closest term I could find was retrofuturism.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense because it's on another planet, I guess. And the title is confusing. Strange World. Is it Strange New Worlds? Be like the Star Trek show that I've been covering for the past 2 years. No, it's not. It's nothing to do with Star Trek. And I'm like a pretty huge Trekkie. This should be right up our alley, both of us.
This has more in common with Journey to the Center of the Earth than it does any kind of real kind of like outer space sci-fi. And when you hear Strange World, you think they are going to another planet. They are not. They're going into their own planet.
Yeah, and I kept wondering, okay, so is this about exploration? Are they like lost in space? How did they get here? Are they always here?
We don't know. We just simply don't know. We don't get enough of that information.
No, we get quirky family dancing, making dinner. and son is in love with local teenager,
local teenager of the same sex.
Yeah, well, you don't even have to say that. You don't even have to, like, that's one of those things with this is that the family is so generically boring and everything. So the parents spend too long kissing, and I'm like, ew, they're kissing, and I look away, and they're just making out, and they're dancing around the kitchen cooking dinner. Okay, the family's quirky. They've got a little dog. They've got a kid.
They've got a disabled dog.
Was he disabled yet?
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's disabled.
Well, that's where I had to turn it off. I'm like, oh, the dog's gonna get hurt, and I can't watch anymore.
Yeah.
Because what happens is they need the son, not the grandson. So they need the white son of Jägermeister, the grown adult who's now a father who has a kid of his own. His wife is black. He's white. Kids biracial. Not important to the story or matter one bit of difference to why this is bad and predictable.
Well, all right. Well, that's actually good. That is not important. They really don't play into that. That's
so the diversity doesn't really matter. The inclusion, even the message doesn't matter. It's how they get to it. It is so boring and derivative. We said in the very opening, the Jägermeister is going to run off, and it's going to be his son and his family reconnecting with the dad, and that's clearly where it's going.
Yeah.
And what happens is they take the son, the grown adult son now, and the assistants of the Jägermeister are like, hey, come on this adventure, and he's like, okay, my family stays behind. Guess what? The family doesn't stay behind, and we're like, and the family's gonna show up, and his kid's gonna be there, and his wife's gonna, and sure enough, they're all there getting sucked into this thing.
It's a very kind of contrived A to B to C to D plot. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, and we're on this beat now where something happens, and somebody's gonna be some peril.
Very, very beat sheet story writing, yeah.
It is so generic. It is so boring. And that's literally why I think this bombed. It wasn't for the diversity. It wasn't for the inclusion. It wasn't for even the message.
Well, according to one of these articles, according to this one I hear, there was it claims that all the money went into Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
All the promotional money went into Wakanda
I can
Forever.
see that. I never heard of this thing. I hadn't heard one bit. I mean, you don't even have the Mary Sue writing about how we're all a bunch of istophobes for not watching it.
The Mary Sue hasn't said anything about this movie in 6 months.
Right? That's really important. That's really, really important. And because all of this wokier than thou marketing, you know how we always say get woke, go broke? It's the other way around. These things are not that good, so they're trying to force them into being at least talked about. They didn't even do that with this one.
No.
Because this one was just such a forgettable, wet turd of a movie that, and I get it. I'm not Disney's, main audience or anything, but if it's decent, I can sit through one of these because that's what they're designed for.
Yeah.
They're designed so that the parents can sit through them. This one I can't.
Yeah, I understand they kind of wanted a family sort of adventure like Swiss Family Robinson, kind of that over the holiday weekend. It's a movie you could take the whole family to. The adults
they'll hate it. They'll hate it.
The adults can grab onto this. The kids can grab onto it because it's big, bright, and colorful. Yet at the same time,
it's boring.
It's not that it's boring. It doesn't do anything particularly well.
Or new.
If
this is the first movie you've ever seen, you won't notice any problems. If this is the second movie you've ever seen, you're going to be irritated by it.
Yeah.
But no, I think that they didn't even want to waste money going and telling the press that you're all a bunch of istophobes for not seeing it. They didn't want to waste their money on it.
I'm shocked we haven't seen any of that come out lately.
Oh, that'll be a next couple of days.
That'll be next week when the dust settles and this thing finally is put to bed. Then we're gonna see. It's clear you weren't ready for an interracial couple with a gay son and can I say gay?
Yeah, why not?
Well, gay means happy.
And that's the thing. It was like a teenage kid who's got a crush on the other boy, and the dad's trying to set up the kid. So, I mean, the family doesn't even hate the kid for being gay. It's just it's just such a freaking boring
like I said,
movie.
It's nothing. It's not special. And actually, that's been the big problem with the last couple of Disney animated movies. They haven't been anything special. Lightyear was not special. This is not special. Usually, when you get to a Disney or animated movie, it is a big deal. These aren't big deals anymore.
No, they're straight to the streaming services.
Yeah,
practically.
and actually, that's one of the reasons why they said a lot of people may have stayed away is because they're waiting for it to come to streaming.
In 2 weeks.
in 2 weeks. And this is supposed to be on Disney Plus by Christmas. So
And Christmas is less than a month away. It's right around the corner.
it's literally 30 days away. Literally 30 days. I'm not joking. It's literally 30 days away. So
Actually, it's Monday, November 28th. So
Yeah.
we're recording this. The issue I have with a lot of this is that it was why would they even bother releasing one of these movies now? Why wouldn't they just wait until Christmas? Why put it out?
traditionally, Thanksgiving weekend is the big holiday movie window for an animated movie for Disney.
Okay.
Because you have the long weekend. Your kids are off from school that Friday. Parents are looking for something to do with them. Let's take them to the new Disney movie. It makes a certain amount of sense. But this was not the movie to release now.
No, especially, and we will touch on a lot of this woke stuff. There is still going to be that demographic of people who are going to stay home because it's woke, because they're tired of being called an, oh, you're just going to call me an istaphobe. Why would I support
This
this?
isn't particularly woke.
Even if it's not, I mean, just check the boxes. Mary Sue's gonna say it is. Brianna Wu did. I already ranted about that.
Oh,
check
God,
that out.
yeah.
There are, and that's like the least part of this problem of the movie. I mean, they're a married heterosexual couple, who has a kid.
This back here is the son.
No, is that the mom?
That's the
mom.
That's the mom.
Are you sure? I can't tell. They're all Disney bean
and there
faces.
you go. That's another problem. Stylistically, the animation is lackluster.
Yeah,
So
that's
there's
the dad and the granddad. Who's on this one?
So this is just a generic.
I think that's
a generic
the kid.
set piece design piece here. This is the son. This is the dad. So here we have the family. Okay, their backs are turned. Not a lot we can see here.
Strange world.
I mean,
the dog's cute, but even the dog's so generic. He doesn't do anything interesting like Bo from Up. I mean,
very kind of shaggy dog, like English, old English sheepdog.
That's exactly what this reminds me of. This reminds me of a lot of the plot points from Up, where you had the explorer, expedition-y person. Did you see that one?
I'm
remembering it wrong.
This is the mom right here.
Okay, with
that's
the hat.
the mom. That's the son.
That's the kid.
This is the father. His name's Searcher. This is Jägermeister.
And then there's a dog, and that's like the assistant.
That's the leader of the expedition.
Oh.
And I got that much out of it, which is why I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, but there's so nothing about this movie at all that needs to be.
And that's ultimately what tanked this movie. There's nothing special about it. And I could picture the people in the Disney marketing department, the PR firms, and saying, "What do we do with this? What do we do? What do you want us to do with this? This has what possibly can we promote in this?"
This reminds me of a lot of those direct to VHS sequels that they were coming out with. Such a generic nothing plot. Who the crap wrote this?
Okay, I'm gonna invoke a nerd card. Okay, my nerd card. This reminds me of why a particular movie bombed about 10 years ago. I don't know if you remember this. The movie was called The Adventures of Tintin.
No. Rin Tintin?
No, and there you go. That was the problem. Again, it's been a huge comic for years and years and years in Europe. They tried bringing it to America several times, never worked. An animated movie had Peter Jackson, had Steven Spielberg behind it. Didn't work. And all we kept hearing from the marketing department was, or from certain people online, oh, it's like Indiana Jones. I'm like, yeah, but there's a problem. It's not Indiana Jones. And again, it's another case of, what do we do with this? What do we do? We can't do anything with this. And that's the same problem here. It's a family adventure, but there's nothing to grab onto. Literally.
Or Valerian. Valerian's another one. Valerian was better than this, though. At least Valerian was kind of a little more interesting, despite the fact that the leads had no chemistry and were too young to be in those roles.
They looked too young to be in the roles.
Did you see Valerian?
Yes, I did.
It was awful, but it was better than this.
The only thing I asked about the Valerian from the trailer was how much did they have to pay to use the Beatles Because in the trailer? Because that's at least $250,000
Probably.
Right there. Yeah. And again, so this is going to be another very expensive flop. There's no way this thing's going to break even.
But between this and Wakanda Forever, I mean, Wakanda Forever didn't really have anything that PG-13 in it that your 8-year-old couldn't see. You can take your 8-year-olds to see Wakanda Forever. Anybody younger than that, you really don't even want them out in public because they're just going to scream.
What do you say is more woke, this or Wakanda Forever?
Oh, Wakanda Forever?
Yeah.
But even though that was a lot more racist, even though Wakanda Forever literally had a guy coming out of the water where they had to dry his back off after he crossed a river illegally.
Yeah.
And there's a whole speech about, you come to my country and cross the river.
Yes. Now, Variety's, again, they're trying to make the case for this movie.
It's not that bad, but
But they are trying to make the case for this movie. I don't know why they're trying to get people on board with it. Finally,
the animated Addams Family movie was better, that first one, and I love the Hotel Transylvania movies, like the first couple of those are adorable. Just watch those. Like I'm not even an animated movie person, but I like those are cute.
Yeah. But like I said, people are trying to make the case for it, and these are the only people I see so far trying to make the case. How bad is this? How bad is this turning out for Disney?
They're comparing it to The Good Dinosaur.
Yes,
did you see that one?
No, I didn't. Yeah, with very little marketing, Don Hall's colorful gem features everything that would have Bill Maher call this the wokest movie of the year.
Bill Maher? Oh, they're going after Bill Maher. He's not even right-leaning.
They're trying to paint a problem like, oh well, the usual people are going to call this the wokest movie. Listen, it's not even really that woke. It's just there's nothing going on. It's just it's a very empty kind of a movie. It really is.
It feels like you're watching it halfway through. It feels like it starts. It feels like you're missing something.
Yeah, it does feel. It does. That's a good point. It does feel like you're coming into the middle of something. Okay, I have this world. There's something I missed.
Did they have a narration in the beginning? Like, millions of years ago, there was this planet, and it had this, and
setup was the grandfather's...
Okay. The animated
thing, the animated newsreel kind of thing, showing the grandfather Jägermeister's adventures.
Now, that was interesting. They made that, like, traditional 2D animation.
Okay, but at the same time, they did that in another movie, The Incredibles, and that worked so much better. Because it gave you so much of a better setup in the context of that world. Okay, this is a world where superheroes exist. This is a world. These are the heroes. This is what happened. This is why Mr. Fantastic isn't doing superheroing anymore. They set it up so much better. This just kind of goes blah and kind of spews information at you. All right, and you're sitting like, all right, what am I supposed to do with all this?
I kept asking you for the first, until they went into this planet. I'm like, oh, this is a different planet because they all look so human. The dog looks like a normal human dog.
The dog looks normal. Like I said, the dog looks normal. Going back to this, the dog looks like a normal, like typical old English sheepdog. Jägermeister is a big kind of burly guy with a mustache. You have the mom. You have the son who looks like Jake Gyllenhaal is the son, plays the son. Alan Tudyk has a role in this. I'm not sure
which son, the middle son, or like the grown adult son?
The grown adult son.
Okay, that's Jake Gyllenhaal.
He was kind of a bumbler, didn't want anything to do with adventuring.
He didn't want anything to do with adventuring, but he wants to make his dad proud. So it's gonna be the
trying to live up to the legacy of the father.
Yeah, he's gonna make up with the grandfather here.
Yeah, at some point, yeah. And this is, look, Dad, I have a family, and I've done so well for myself. Yeah, but you're not an adventurer.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have to be. You're right, son. I shouldn't expect you to be an adventurer like me. And why am I talking like Yosemite Sam?
Because they gave him that mustache.
Yeah.
But no, that's what it really reminds me of. A lot of those, it's just so generic.
Yeah, it's very, very generic. It is. There's nothing special about this movie. There is really nothing.
So you're gonna get like a 2 for 1. You're gonna review and why we think it failed.
Well, I can't review it because I haven't watched the whole thing. I turned it off.
Well, yeah, I can't finish it. There's no way I'm finishing this. It's so boring.
I might finish it if I see it somewhere on television and there's less investment in it. But now I don't. I think I've had enough of this.
Yeah, so that's about all I have to say. I would just pass. Wait, get ready for the usual Euronistophobe because this flopped, and we'll yell about those when those come. I am Mecca.
I'm Rob off camera.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.
Did I hear someone say shut up?